The Komodo Varan, giant Indonesian Varan, Komodo dragon, is an amazing lizard inhabiting the Indonesian islands. It is the largest in the world and is protected as a species. Europeans learned about the Komodo dragon only in the early 20th, which the observation and research began. What is the giant monitor that became so famous? Where does the Komodo Varan? There are about 18,000 islands in Indonesia. Reptiles like to live only 4 of them: the Komodo, Rinca and Gili Matang. The total number of local varanas now just over 5,000 individuals, and there are many reasons why the so-called Komodo dragon is of the International Union for Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources. It's hard to imagine, but a dangerous, powerful, voracious predator that nature has equipped with a host of adaptations for successful existence in the environment. The origin of the Komodo Varan. The Komodo Varan scientists believe that the giant monitor lizard came to live on these islands at a time when the surface of our planet was undergoing global change. The land rose and fell into the depths of vast areas now converged and now moved away from each other. About 15 million years ago, the ancestors of these lizards ended up in Australia when the movement of the Earth's crust pushed it toward the Asian continent, and a few million years later they lived in an area cut off from Australia by rising levels of the ocean. This saved them from the sad fate that once befell the Australian fauna. What does the Komodo Varan look like? Komodo Varan. Ground crocodile, a nickname given by Aborigines, perfectly describes the giant lizard by its retracted paws with terrible claws, toothy mouth, long body with a powerful tail. Growths on the skin. The Komodo ram reached 3 to 2.1 kilograms. Just his appearance is able to inspire fear in man. And when he in fights with congeners or in search of, stands upright on his hind legs, leaning his tail, the beaver understands his second name, the Komodo dragon. Female Komodo dragon is noticeably smaller in height and size, but this does not make them cuter and safer for others. The offspring are quite small at first. New individuals develop 10 centimeters in size and weighing 200 g. The hatched lizards climb the trees at once in order to prevent being eaten by somebody, including their relatives, 2 years feeding on various trifles until they grow and get strong enough themselves and fight bigger prey. The coloration of juvenile monitor lizards is not the same. Reptiles have dark brown skin and are usually covered with yellowish spots and specks. Juveniles have orange spots that turn into stripes on the tail and neck. Feeding of the Komodo dragon. As a solitary predator, Komodo dragon sometimes finds itself in the company of its own kind. This happens during the mating season and during the joint eating of prey. At the moments when large and strong dragons attack their smaller and weaker congeners and eat, be called coexistence. This is one of the links in the food chain. Cannibalism provides more food consumed. The menu of adult reptiles includes deer, buffalo, large and small livestock, dogs, birds, and birds. Juveniles prey on what is easier, such as baby ungulates, lizards, and insects. In search of food, the varanas may go hunting ground, walk along the seashore in search of crabs, fish and turtles, to swim to a nearby island. Hunger makes them not squealer, digging through village wastes and digging up graves. Komodo Varan. Flattened are a truly terrible weapon. These reptiles rip out large chunks of flesh from their prey, and can eat a quantity of meat in a matter of minutes that weighs little less. Small livestock is swallowed by a varan. The good thing is that its jaws are very agile. There is no need to stomach stretches to the desired size. The Komodo's sense of smell is highly developed. With its long, deeply bifurcated tongue, this predator scans its surroundings and senses prey at a distance of more than 9 kilometers. Attacking animals, ram breaks stroke of his tail, by terrible wounds and poisoning their saliva, which contains the secretions of poisonous glands. If one manages to escape, still finds him by the smell of blood, and the weakened animal has little chance of surviving. And yet, the Komodo Varan has suffered from malnutrition due to the extermination of wild ungulates by poachers. Forced to move on to smaller animals, the varanas themselves are also getting smaller, reaching a size of barely 75% ago. How does this predatory lizards is scheduled by the hour. After spending the night in hiding, they get out of there early in the morning out in the sun, regulate their body temperature for some time. Varans wait out the heat in the shade and then move out to hunt. Komodo dragon. The Komodo dragon likes to live at low altitude areas. Plain or forest, they should be well warmed by the sun. For the period of local summer, May-October, the beds of dried rivers with jungle along the banks. As a shelter, adult burrows 1 to 5 meters deep, which they dig out themselves, while the younger generation sleeps in natural shelters such as tree hollows. The speed of the giant monitor monkeys is up to 20 kilometers per hour. Tourist danger they pose, and the fact that cases are described more than once. Tourist groups will be substituted under the terrible teeth Komodo Varan if he suddenly appears and wants to attack. Its behavior is unpredictable, relaxation into aggression. By the way, the particularly have to be captured and transported to live in other parts of the islands. Important, the powerful sense of smell of Komodo Varan does not distinguish between the smell of animal and human blood. The lizard does not care which prey to chase. So do not go on an exotic excursion if you have the slightest wound or scratch on your women in critical days. Poison of the Komodo Varan. On the lower jaw of the Komodo ram is a pair of poisonous glands that produce proteins, which thin the blood, lower blood pressure, and cause paralysis. Saliva of this lizard contains more than 50 bacteria that cause wound inflammation and blood poisoning. The ducts of the poisonous glands are located at the base of the more than 70 species of monitor lizards. The Komodo monitor stands out for its size and ferocity. And the smallest of its relatives is 28 centimeters in height and weighs only 140 grams. All varanas have a predatory nature, regardless of where they live, Asia or Africa. The most populous and multi-species kingdom of lizards is located in New Guinea. Varanas have been known to dig corpses out of graves. For this reason, locals bury a concrete slab over the coffin. Varanas pose a danger to human. If you do not seek medical help in time, it can be fatal. The life expectancy of the Komodo ram is 40 years. Rattlers have no natural enemies other than humans. Young ones can fall prey to a variety of predators, such as the combed crocodile.